forecast to rain tonight, so let's hope it holds off for those supporters and for Steve and I, because I was warned by the steward marshalling the car park that it is going to get quite muddy in there, and I don't want to ruin my footwear. We are underway. Carlisle United against Scunthorpe United, live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. It's 4th against 3rd in the National League, and we are underway. The visitors are in possession with Tyler Denton. Funnels a pass back to his goalkeeper, Rory Mahadi, who, as you heard in our pre-match build-up, kept his first clean sheet of 2026, his 3rd for the club in total. In the 1-0 win over Southend on Saturday, he strikes it forward. Joe Rowley pushes a header on. It's turned inside by Aidan Doush over on the left. Flicked forward from midfield by Joe Rowley. There's a final touch off a Carlisle player on the way through. It goes out for a throw to the iron down the left. And Tyler Denton will pick up a fresh ball off of one of the cones behind the left-hand touchline and will take this throw from almost midway inside the Carlisle half. Goes short. 1-2 between him and Ollie Ewing. Shuffles inside, does Tyler Denton, and then just strokes the ball to right back Ross Barrows. Now it's with Callum Roberts, the captain, tonight. Knocks it back to Barrows just over the halfway line. He clips it forward. Danny Whitehall's got him behind here, allows the ball to bounce. I think was waiting for the offside flag to come up. It does do so, and Carlisle have a free kick.
Yeah, brighter start already. Only a minute into the game, and Scunthorpe was starting a lot brighter than they did on Saturday. Really struggled to get into their momentum. Took them 45-50 minutes to get going, Scunthorpe. So I know Andy Butler will be looking for them to a quick start, get in their faces, play direct, get them turned, and try and play us forward as much as they can this evening.
Alex Gilead is almost robbed in midfield by Ollie Ewing, but Carlisle get it back with Harvey McAdam, part of that midfield trio. He's alongside Alex Gilead with Stephen Wern playing behind the front three. As Carlisle come forward down the right-hand side, cross comes in from deep. It flashes across the Scunthorpe penalty area, trickles into the path of Ross Barrows, who is able to clear. Callum Roberts has got him behind Elliot Galvin and will stride forward down the right-hand side. He's entered Carlisle territory, but then just almost ran into Danny Whitehall, lost sight of the ball as he got stuck underneath the heel of his left foot, and it trickles out for a throw to Carlisle, which they've taken quickly. Here is Aaron Hayden, restored to the starting lineup tonight, having been on the bench at Spotland on Saturday. They go long down the right, do Carlisle, through Josh Williams. Luke Armstrong will look to keep it in play. Brandon Horton is there first, clears from the byline. Carlisle have a throw on the right.
Yeah, you can tell straight away the pitch is in excellent conditions, like a real carpet compared to Glanford Park. And the size of the pitch as well. That's what I just think Callum Roberts thought he was going to run out. Actually stayed on that last little bit of play, but yeah, it can make a difference. This big pitch, and this size of the area, and the size of the pitch.
Carlisle in possession inside their own half at the moment, as it's stroked forward by McAdam, looking for the run of Armstrong. Scunthorpe cut that out, and they have it at the back with Will Evans. Does well to skip past a challenge from Alex Gilead. Late contact from the former Iron midfielder earns Scunthorpe a free kick inside their own half, slightly left of centre, and Brandon Horton will leave it for Rory Mahadi to take in a fluorescent yellow goalkeeping kit tonight. Scunthorpe push up. Aidan Doush operating on the left-hand side of a front three, as expected, as the Iron outfield players drift over to this near right-hand side. Mahadi's free kick hangs up in the air, allowed to bounce once. Galvin nods it away for the Cumbrians, and it's held up by Embleton. His clearance away, blocked by Westbrook. It'll be a Carlisle throw in front of the main stand here at Brunton Park, where we're seated. They've moved the commentary position here last season. It was in the Andrew Jenkins stand opposite us. Galvin with the throw, goes down the line looking for Armstrong. He misses his header, and that'll bounce out for a Scunthorpe throw in turn, which Evans holds back to his goalkeeper Mahadi. Holds both of his arms out either side of him like a scarecrow almost, and just slows play down to a halt before rifling that forward, right-footed. The target is Danny Whitehall. He can't bring it under control. Gilead will bring it away for Carlisle. Flicks it back to Embleton. Carlisle still operating inside their own half at the moment, as Feeney, the captain, plays it across to his centre-back partner, Hayden. He'll try and play in his right-back Williams down the far side. Bit too much weight on that pass, but Carlisle get the throw. And in possession is McAdam for the hosts. Finds Embleton in centre field, skips away from Evans, but then Barrows digs his fellow defender out of trouble. Whitehall's dragged down by Gilead inside the Scunthorpe half and earns his side a free kick, and then takes it quickly, puts Dausch in behind. Referee allows that to continue. Dausch one-on-one with Williams down the left, ball glued to his right foot, cuts inside, hits it. Williams followed him all the way and blocks the effort, but Scunthorpe able to recycle possession here. Barrows will arrow it from right to left, picks out Tyler Denton, pulls it back to Westbrook with the curling effort, straight into the gloves of Gabe Breeze.
Yeah, good little bit of play, especially from Danny Whitehall. Just put his hand on the ball, played it really quickly down that left-hand side. Good cross in. Eventually ball come back to Westbrook. Just didn't get enough power on his kind of curling chip, trying to get over the goalkeeper's head, and it went to his hands. But Scunthorpe looking a lot brighter, like I said, compared to Saturday.
Mahadi goes long for Scunthorpe from his own box. Ewing misses the chance to cushion a header to a teammate, but Carlisle not really able to keep the ball and string passes together at the moment, but will stick to Armstrong here. Shouts of handball as it came off the body of Will Evans. Play continues. Gilead into McAdam inside the centre circle. Now here's Hayden striding forward from the back, midway inside the Scunthorpe half. Tries to thread a pass in behind as it bobbles off the instep of his right boot. Armstrong didn't even attempt to try and latch onto that, and Scunthorpe have a goal kick with 6 minutes played here at Brunton Park. It's coming live on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, all frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds. Goalless thus far.
Yeah, and I don't know if Scunthorpe can try to frustrate this Carlisle team, because I've seen, especially more recent weeks where the results have been a bit inconsistent, that the crowd can have a bit of a tendency to get on the manager's back and the players' back. So if Scunthorpe can just keep them settled down and keep them on their back foot, and that crowd can kind of affect their performance. So that would be probably a little bit of a game ploy as well.
Yeah, Carlisle 2 defeats out of their last 3, just only one of their last 4 league games in the National League. 4th at the moment are the Cumbrians, level on points with Scunthorpe United. Only goal difference separates the 2 sides. As Will Evans is getting into a bit of a tussle with Armstrong, Brandon Horton clears the ball away on the halfway line, but Luke Armstrong was a touch too overzealous with his pressing there, and Scunthorpe get themselves a free kick.
Yeah, I think Carlisle fans weren't happy. I think there's a potential foul in their eyes before Armstrong's foul on Brandon Horton, but the referee waved that on.
Yeah, we're right in and amongst them here in the main stand. It's got echoes of Wrexham for me, this press row, being right amongst the supporters. Carlisle throw. Far side in front of the Andrew Jenkins stand. Josh Williams delays taking it. He will go down the line again, looking for Armstrong. He does flick the ball on this occasion. Rowley heads away. Scunthorpe managed to hold the ball up through Dausch, flicks it to Denton, who hits it forward on the volley. Whitehall's making the run in behind. Hayden heads that across to McAdam, who will boot that into touch for another Scunthorpe throw. I think that came off the back of the linesman there over on the far side, which raised a cheer from the home supporters. Almost lost sight of the ball there. The LED advertising hoardings over on the far side are quite bright here at Brunton Park. Denton in possession for the visitors. It goes back to Will Evans just outside of the centre circle, left of centre, feeds the ball into Ross Barrows, plays a first time pass through the third. Same Westbrook making a late run from midfield, forces the clearance outside of his own box from Carlisle goalkeeper Gabe Breeze, and they'll bring it forward here, will the Cumbrians, with Gilead, but just plays a pass straight into the shins of Joe Rowley. Comes back to Carlisle, and they'll try again from the back here with Hayden across to his captain Feeney. Feeney looks up, whips it over to the left. Here's Embleton, has got room to run into down the channel, slips in behind, looking for the run of Ryan Galvin, who is up from left back, can't keep that in play. It's a Scunthorpe goal kick.
Yeah, well, they've done well, Scunthorpe, but it held quite a high line, just held the high line, and it was over it past, but to keep that line really kind of central and everyone's on the same line, it does make it difficult for Carlisle to time their run and their movement. And then Mahadi's starting position comes into play as well. He can play a little more bit advanced off his line in between his kind of 6 and 18 yard box, and if he does get over it, he can sweep up.
Mahadi strokes his goal kick forward. Whitehall was trying to sprint back from his centre forward position to contest the header, and in doing so his eagerness has brought Morgan Feeney down. It's a free kick for Carlisle, and Feeney, having won it, will take it quickly, but the ball was still moving, so the Carlisle captain will have to try again.
Yeah, try and play, but I suppose it was just rotating slightly, wasn't it? And it needs to be dead before they can take the free kick. So, right, a bit of frustration from Mark Hughes. If you want to get them down, play and quick play and try and catch Scunthorpe on the back foot, but just overzealous there with his approach.
Feeney goes over the top again. Wern is in an offside position as he collects that free kick. So Feeney, 2 from 2, need a free kick particularly great, and he's given Scunthorpe United a free kick here after catching Stephen Wern in an offside position. Rory Mahadi has bowled the ball out well away from where this free kick should be taken. He'll have to slowly saunter back to be level with the assistant referee's flag over on the far side. In front of that Andrew Jenkins stand, which extends beyond the pitch.
Yeah, you don't mind having a couple of yards, but that was about 10-12 yards where it should have been taken.
Mahadi hits it upfield. Whitehall with the flick on. It was just behind Aidan Dausch, so Josh Williams can deal with it from a Carlisle perspective at right back. Gabe Breeze plays out from his own box to Feeney. Now here is Ryan Galvin at left back, a former Sheffield Wednesday youngster. Cuts a pass forward. It was almost held up by Armstrong, but his first touch lets him down as Brandon Horton loops it forward. Dausch has got in behind here, but Williams beats him to the ball, gets goal side and shepherds it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good defending, really recovered really well. Had 4 yards on him and he just recovered, just used his body strength just to see the ball go over the line for a goal kick. Good defending.
They go short from the goal kick to Carlisle. 11.5 minutes played now here at Brunton Park. Waiting the opening goal. Only one real opportunity thus far. Zane Westbrook's curling effort comfortably kept out by Gabe Breeze. Carlisle hold it up midway inside the Scunthorpe half as Luke Armstrong, well, you heard one of the Carlisle fans' thoughts behind me, thought that was a foul on him by Joe Rowley, but the offside flag was up already. So it's another Scunthorpe free kick. Mahadi's been going long with most of them to not much success thus far. He'll try again here from midway inside his own half, right of centre. The Scunthorpe outfield players drift slightly right of centre at the moment. Callum Roberts hugging this near touchline. Long it goes again from the boot of Mahadi, and back there is Ryan Galvin, gets his header wrong, concedes a throw to the iron, which will be left for Ross Barrows to take. Level with the Cumbrians' penalty area. He will feed it into Ollie Ewing, making a late run from midfield, goes down just outside of the box under pressure. No free kick given from that pressing from Harvey McAdam, and Carlisle have a goal kick.
Yeah, probably the right decision. Ollie Ewing didn't really have that ball under control. He was bobbled up a little bit. If he had the ball under control, it probably would have been a foul, but just midfield player just used his strength, tracked Ollie Ewing's run, and again it just see it over the line.
Ryan Galvin clatters it forward for Carlisle. It's easily dealt with by Will Evans. Ross Barrows flicks it back into the heart of defence here to Brandon Horton. He looks up, whips a ball in behind, looking for that run again of Aidan Dausch, but it's too long for the Coventry City loanee to latch onto, a former USA Youth International, and that one will be a Carlisle goal kick once again.
Yeah, he's quick, Williams, isn't he? The right back, the right full back. You know, anything that gets over the top of him, he's probably going to get a bit of a head start. But you know, they're trying to play, they're trying to go a little bit more direct initially, and then they probably hopefully things are settled down a bit like Saturday and make that influence on that game and that midfield area, which is crucial for Scunthorpe. That's where they create most of their chances, central and then out wide to Roberts.
Both sides perhaps cancelling each other out at the moment as another free kick goes in Scunthorpe United's favour. Luke Armstrong barging into the back of Will Evans in attempting to contest that goal kick from the boot of Gabe Breeze. So iron free kick from the right. Ross Barrows pulls the ball back to Rory Mahadi, spears it forward. Uncontested header away by Ryan Galvin. Ball bouncing around in midfield at the moment. And once again, Luke Armstrong coming from an offside position. That flag on the far side has been going up and down quite a lot during this first 14 and a half minutes. It's another Scunthorpe free kick for an offside call.
And that's good play. They're squeezing up when the ball gets cleared, and then they're dropping off and holding their line when Carlisle are in good possession. The assistant referee seems to put it up really late. I keep looking over and it's down. Next minute puts it up slightly a little bit later than I would expect.
Ross Barrows is going to take the free kick from inside the centre circle, 5 yards behind the halfway line, right of centre. He will put that over to the left-hand side of the field, but it's a header away by the Carlisle defence. Ollie Ewing will nod it back towards the Cumbrians' penalty area. They clear away again to the hosts. It drops to Tyler Denton. Plays that forward to Horton, who's still up from the back here. Horton flicks into the path of Ewing, who delivers a first-time ball in. And it's turned behind by McAdam for the first corner kick of the night. It goes the Irons' way.
Yeah, good little bit of play down the right-hand side. Ollie Ewing drifting out on that left-hand side. Just tried to cross it with his left foot. Ricochet for a corner. Can Scunthorpe come up with a little bit of work? I'm sure they work on set pieces. And they've got a good variation. They've got definitely great delivery.
Ollie Ewing, he won the corner, he will take it. Will Evans has gone up from the back, as has Brandon Horton. The two full-backs stay back as it's whipped him right-footed towards the near post. Header balloons up into the air. Alex Gilead heads it further away. It drops to Ross Barrows, who hits it from distance. That's comfortably over the crossbar.
Yeah, good strike, always rising, kind of the way he struck it, half volley. I thought he could have just had a little touch. Roberts was here on the right hand side, just to have a touch and feed it, but he was in his right to have a shot from there. If it had gone in, it would have been a worldie, but it went about 5-6 yards over the crossbar.
Home fans aren't happy here, Steve Torpey, judging by what I can hear from behind me.
Well, I think the majority of the play has been in the attacking Scunthorpe half, and like we said, if Scunthorpe can just settle them down and get this crowd on their back, obviously be beneficial to Scunthorpe. And you know what it's like when you get a bit of tension in the air and expectation levels are quite high here, so hopefully that'll work in Scunthorpe's favour.
Roberts dinks the ball into the Carlisle penalty area. Zane Westbrook will get on to Aaron Hayden's loose touch, elects to let that trundle out for another corner kick for the visitors. This time it will be taken from the right by Callum Roberts. Will Evans and Brandon Horton jog into the box again. Also in the penalty area, Ollie Ewing, Joe Rowley, Danny Whitehall and Aidan Dausch. Carlisle not leaving any players forward, all 10 outfield players back in the box defending this set piece. As Scunthorpe try and work it short between Roberts and Rowley, Embleton will clatter it out for a throw. Roberts will take the throw in, will he? Level with the Carlisle 6-yard area, or will he leave it to Ross Barrows? I think he is going to leave it to the iron right back, who then just gives the ball straight to Callum Roberts, who almost got the corner kick there. The ball comes off the boot of Embleton, hits the corner flag. Another throw in for the Iron Harp, the park though. 2 yards away from that right hand corner flag. Barrows delays the throw. Roberts comes short, then Westbrook. Here is the Doncaster Rovers loanee. That pass not quite right, and they concede the throw, give it straight back to Carlisle.
Yeah, Westbrook just got a little bit too close to Ross Barrows there. Just kind of, sometimes you need to create that space and then come onto it rather than just try and encroach. And it becomes tighter and less room for a error.
Morgan Feeney not happy about something. The Carlisle captain had a brief word with the assistant referee on this near side before the throw-in is eventually taken by Ryan Galvin. It's thumped forward on the volley by Alex Gilead, but again, no real bodies forward for the hosts. Almost Brandon Horton and Roy Mahadi get into a mix-up reminiscent of how Southend did, that led to the goal that the Irons scored on Saturday. And here comes Scunny on the front foot, but then Joe Rowley gives it away. A wayward ball looking for his central midfield partner Ollie Ewing. Carlisle back in possession on the halfway line with McAdam. Wriggles free away from Ollie Ewing. Now it's Ajiboye down the right, drifts inside, tries to sidestep a couple of challenges, but then gives the ball away. Scunthorpe get it back. It's in their penalty area now with Horton. Plays it across defence to Will Evans. Evans takes a touch, looks up, fires it forward, looking for Danny Whitehall, who was caught flat-footed there. Feeney able to head clear, and it's brought down by Ryan Galvin. 1-2 between him and Elliot Embleton. Galvin did well there. Here come Carlisle down the left with Wern. 1-2 between him and Embleton again. Wern comes inside, dinks the ball into the box. Armstrong not able to get there. It's a Scunthorpe goal kick.
Yeah, good defending again. Will Evans tracking his run, and Brendan Horton tracking his runners as well, keeping in front of them when they are trying to lift the ball over. it's either over it or they're getting caught offside. So defensively, Scunthorpe were performing really well.
Nearly 20 minutes gone. No goals thus far in the National League. This battle between 4th and 3rd. Carlisle United against Scunthorpe United. Live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Mahadi's goal kick then just about makes it up to the halfway line. Westbrook's flick on only collides with the chest of Alex Gilead. And it's back in defence for the hosts. Feeney plays a pass into the penalty area to Breeze. And now they'll start from the back with Aaron Hayden. Looks up, assesses his options, plays it back across defence to Feeney. Scunthorpe United stand off for the time being. Feeney over to the left here to Elliot Embleton, tight to the touchline down the left-hand side, but then almost has his pocket picked. Well, he does have his pocket picked pretty comfortably by Callum Roberts, who's then pulled back by the Carlisle wide man. Another free kick for Scunthorpe, given away quite cheaply there.
Yeah, it looks like Carlisle kind of run out of ideas. They get the ball out in wide areas and they look, and there's no real options for him to play. Still like to see Roberts react. You know, he got dragged back and it was an obvious foul, but just carry on, because it happened the other week and the referee didn't give the foul and then the player went through, so he needs to react a little bit more positively, even though he got the foul. Roberts, bit of a bugbear of mine, you know, play to the whistle.
Galvin inside to Elliot Embleton, loops over the top but again finds touch. Carlisle trying something different. The fans applaud the initiative, even if perhaps the execution wasn't quite there. Scunthorpe throw, 21 minutes played. Ross Barrows to take the throw in, drying his palms and the ball with his shirt. Down the right, his throw-in goes. Roberts will head it inside. The ball stays in play, but a loose touch from Ollie Ewing gifts Carlisle possession. Ajiboye rides the challenge from the iron midfielder. Cross comes in from the right-hand side from McAdam as he was played in by Ajiboye. It'll stay in play here. Embleton, a couple of step-overs from him. Digs out a cross, headed out by Brandon Horton. Dausch back there defending. Delays the clearance and is dispossessed. Another crossing opportunity here from McAdam. It drops to Embleton just inside the penalty area. Flicks it back to Gilead. Carlisle backpedaling, trying to keep the pressure up on the Scunthorpe penalty area though. G'd on by their own supporters as Feeney strides forward. Here is Galvin. Feeney continues his run from the back down the left-hand channel inside to Wern. Now here's Embleton, manages to keep it 20 yards from goal, hits it from distance. Mahadi has got his save wrong and Carlisle United take the lead in the 23rd minute. Elliot Embleton hitting it from 25 yards. Mahadi, that should have been a regulation save, turning it around his post. He's fumbled it and it bobbles into the bottom right-hand corner. Carlisle 1-0 up at home to Scunthorpe United.
Yeah, it's the first real bit of play they've had, sustained possession for a minute or so. Yeah, like you say, Ollie, he really should have done better. Mahadi just bounced in front of him. He was kind of stretching, but really just could have got his gloves. He just bounced over him and it's gone over his gloves, got a hand on it and into the back of the net. He didn't have no real power or intensity in his shot, and it's like you say, a regular one that he's done throughout the season so far. He'll be really disappointed with that, and we was talking about him before the show started. And it's typical, he throws one in, but you know, it's a recover, and he seems that character. He needs to dismiss that and get on with the game.
We've seen Scunthorpe United come from behind plenty of times this season to win points. Can they do so again here at Brunton Park? They trail by 1-0. They've come from behind to claim 18 points from losing positions in the last 25 games. They'll need to do so again. Elliot Embleton in the 22nd minute gives Carlisle United the lead here at Brunton Park, live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Evans circles away from Luke Armstrong. Possession is back with goalkeeper Rory Mahadi, who will get a touch and another. Disappointing for him, particularly after the saves he made on Saturday to preserve a clean sheet in the win over Southend. Scunthorpe on the attack as they go long from Mahadi's boot. Roberts one-on-one with his man down the right. Had a chance to pull it back to Roberts, then chops back onto his right foot. Had a chance to pull it back to Barrows, chopped onto his right foot. The cross is kept out of the Carlisle penalty area. Bounces out for a throw-in. Right by the corner flag again for the iron on the right. Referee Thomas Parsons now in conversation with Aaron Hayden. And then blows his whistle for the throw-in to be taken. Barrows finds Whitehall, flicked back to Ross Barrows, lays it off to Joe Rowley. Scunthorpe United retreat back to the halfway line. And the sanctuary of Will Evans, who rakes a long ball forward, looking for Aidan Doush. Hayden with the header away, which drops to Brandon Horton. Now here's Tyler Denton at left back for Scunthorpe United. Risky pass into the centre circle, and Joe Rowley loses it to Luke Armstrong. Carlisle coming forward in search of a second. Ajiboye has Williams on the overlap at right back for Carlisle. Here he is. Pulls it back to McAdam. Fires a cross in from right to left from deep. Galvin won't be able to keep that alive. It's a Scunthorpe throw.
Yeah, Scunthorpe have been playing really well, and against the run of play they've conceded that goal. They just need to have that belief. I see Andy Butler just on the sideline trying to G Mahadi up, giving him a clap and trying to say, forget about it. It does happen. Goalkeeper's last line of defence, but it's just happened probably at the wrong stage of the game and against the wrong team.
Embleton can't get past Ross Barrows. Wern onto the loose ball, knocks it out for a throw to Scunthorpe United. Again, the Carlisle fans around me not particularly happy with that decision from the assistant linesman, the assistant referee on this near side. But he'd already awarded the throw in Scunthorpe's favour. Barrows again to take it, midway inside his own half. The Scunthorpe United right back throws it back to Mahadi, who's just inside his own penalty area at the moment as Armstrong closes in. Mahadi will boot it into Carlisle territory again. Whitehall attempts to cushion a header back to Ollie Ewing, but it's booted away. Scunthorpe not able to keep the second ball alive. Carlisle have another throw on their left with Elliot Galvin, who walks into the Scunthorpe technical area to pick up the loose ball. And Thomas Parsons again. What's he delaying play for on this occasion? He's having a chat with the fourth official at the moment. Are their stopwatches out of sync? They've had all the officiating team have had some kind of conversation with their earpieces, and then the whistle is blown for play to get back underway. The ball's with Rory Mahadi, slices it up towards the halfway line. Whitehall with the flick on. Doush almost brings that under control. It comes back to Whitehall, just rushed that forward pass. Scunthorpe able to retain possession as Horton hoists it forward. It drops to Tyler Denton on the left-hand side, keeps that in play, flicks into the path of Zane Westbrook. Westbrook looks up, strokes it from left to right. Here's Callum Roberts, traps that delightfully. One-on-one with Galvin as Whitehall's gone down off the ball in the box. Play continues. Roberts hits it from 30 yards and it's deflected wide of Breeze's right-hand post. Corner kick to the iron again.
Yeah, the first little bit from Roberts as well. Didn't really get into the game into the second half, Roberts. Just little glimpses, just cut inside. Tried to pull the trigger from about 25 yards. Corner deflection, gone out for a corner, but needs to see more of that from Roberts. Needs to get involved more in the game. I know he needs the ball, but needs to demand that ball.
Ewing over the corner kick again from the left, another in-swinger, this time towards the back post. A couple of players have gone down in the 6-yard area. It's Danny Whitehall and David Ajiboye, and a free kick, as you may be able to tell from a sarcastic cheer behind us here, has gone in Carlisle United's favour.
Yes, I know Danny Whitehall plays the game on the edge, doesn't he, really, and sometimes just I don't know, don't get sucked into that style of play, because he's better than that, and he can link up play, and I think he spends half the time fighting with the centre arse, which is fair enough, but sometimes he can forget his basic stuff that he's in the team for, to get hold of the ball, try and score a goal.
Breeze, right-footed goal kick. Will Evans' header balloons up into the air. It'll be flicked on by Callum Roberts. Falls kindly for Danny Whitehall now, who'll flick it forward. Zane Westbrook runs onto it, then delays his pass, leaves it to Barrows to cross in first time. Roberts will hold it up inside the penalty area, leaves it to Westbrook to shoot, comes off the back of a Carlisle player. Scunthorpe onto the second ball here. Denton arrows it from left to right. Barrows will cushion a header on here to Roberts. One-on-one with Galvin again. Left-footed ball into the box. Whitehall's being bear hugged from behind. Can't bring the ball under control. Carlisle deal with it, but then had a chance to clear their lines. Eventually they will do so through Williams at right back. Plays it down the channel, gets an awkward touch on as he plays the pass, and has gone down awkwardly, clutching his ankle at the moment. Referee stop play again, and has given the free kick, I think, has he? Thomas Parsons once more is going to have a chat to someone here. is going to be both Danny Whitehall and Aaron Hayden. And whatever is going on between those two, he says he's had enough of it.
Yeah, I think it's 6 and 2 threes, isn't it? I think they're both giving and taking the same. Neither of them want to get booked or kind of get reprimanded, but I think the referee's give them a bit of a reminder that this is your final warning. Any more, there's going to be a yellow card.
As we head towards the half-hour mark, Carlisle get themselves a throw, leading by 1-0 at home to Scunthorpe United in the National League. Your big match commentary tonight on BBC Radio Humberside Sport on all frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds. The first of 6 commentaries over the next week. As Ross Barrows scuffs his clearance away from right back for the iron. Galvin steaming forward, still going here, strides towards the iron penalty area, then goes down. Free kick doesn't go his way. Carlisle attack still alive as Embleton crosses in, and Armstrong couldn't quite shape his body to flick that towards goal. Scunthorpe taking evasive action, booting the ball over the crossbar and out for a Carlisle corner.
Yeah, it was a vicious cross from their left-hand side, just on the corner of the 18-yard box. Just drilled it across, just really inviting for Armstrong. Just stretched his leg out, just couldn't make contact. Scunthorpe clear their lines for a corner.
Embleton with the corner kick from the left, then hangs it up towards the back post, header up into the air off of the forehead of Armstrong. It's clattered away on the volley by that Scunthorpe back line, but the ball will come straight back out wide to Embleton again. One-on-one with Ross Barrows, makes his way into the penalty area, stands up across towards the near post, stooping header away by Horton, and Westbrook will whack it clear straight into touch for a Carlisle throw.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit windy out there. I'm giving the players a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Some of the clearances and the quality from the longer range passes have got a few out of play. Just keep it on the island, just keep it within the lines. Danny Whitehall could have got hold of that if it's a bit better quality ball from Westbrook.
Carlisle growing into this first half having taken the lead, and they're on the ball again here with Aaron Hayden. The right-sided centre half finds Williams out on the touchline, whips it down the channel. Here comes the cross in from the byline, pulled back, it was slightly behind Armstrong, shooting opportunity denied by Brandon Horton. Scunthorpe clear away. Here come Carlisle once more though. Hayden pulls it back to Gilead. Carlisle operating inside the Scunthorpe United half at the moment. McAdam drives it over the top, no runners though, and that will bounce out for a Scunthorpe goal kick.
Yeah, you got to say, I think the goal was given Carlisle a bit of a lift. It's on their front foot, they're playing forward, they're playing a bit more pace and tempo and style to play, so which is always going to happen. Scunthorpe just in a readdress, well in this game, they're giving as good as they get without really creating too many chances for themselves.
Mahadi's goal kick then, as he looks to recover from that error which gave Carlisle United the lead through Elliot Embleton's strike from around 20 yards. Should have turned it around his post, but then just bobbled off his gloves and into the corner. Scunthorpe go long. Whitehall almost brings that down with his right thigh just inside of the Carlisle box, but just bounces awkwardly off the iron striker's right leg through to Gabe Breeze. They'll come forward here will Carlisle, but Galvin is robbed. Here's Ross Barrows, but then he will flick that into touch, gets a deflection off of Stephen Wern on the way through, who's hobbling around in midfield at the moment. A former Grimsby Town player before returning to the National League a couple of seasons ago, firstly with Gateshead before ending up here at Carlisle. Barrows, bit of a hospital pass out from Ollie Ewing, does well to keep the ball in play but just sends it skywards. Galvin's header comes off the back of Callum Roberts. Embleton with a touch out of play for another Scunthorpe throw, which is taken quickly by Roberts into Westbrook. Heavy touch, gives it away. Carlisle have it in midfield as it's curled forward by Wern. It's dealt with comfortably by Brandon Horton. Mahadi boots it down the left-hand side. Dausch misses his header. It'll be dealt with by Williams. Into Hayden here, has Whitehall over his shoulder. Back to Williams. They work that well to Carlisle. Back to their goalkeeper, Gabe Breeze, who's closed down by number 9. Left-footed, unconvincing clearance away, which is controlled comfortably by Barrows. Ewing attempts to flick it back into the centre circle to Rowley, and it's slammed away by Brandon Horton, but then Galvin had time to bring that under control. Just slices it out for a Scunthorpe throw. Carlisle win it straight back though. Gilliard into McAdam. Now it's Hayden. Hayden gives it away with a poor pass. Scunthorpe breaking forward here with Dausch down the left. Room to run into. Black shirts in support. It's still with Dausch. Straight at Feeney comes the shot. Carlisle able to boot the ball out of their own penalty area, and it's held up by Williams. Knocks it back to Hayden, who will smash that away. Rowley watched it come down, has missed his header. Referee has decided he got a barge in the back from Stephen Wern. Scunthorpe free kick.
Yeah, unlucky Dausch there, just cut inside, had his first shot blocked and his second one, but a bit more positive, coming inside, trying to pull the trigger from about 25 yards. But, not nice and positive. Now we've got players from both sides trying to make an impact.
Here comes Callum Roberts from the right, feeds it into Ollie Ewing, right hand side the penalty area, tries to pull it back from an acute angle. It was an awkward shooting angle, so elected to pass instead. It's cut out though, and Carlisle clear it away for a throw. 10 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. Carlisle United still leading through Elliot Embleton's strike. 1-0 up at home to Scunthorpe United in the National League. Throw for the visitors by the right hand corner flag. Ewing cushions a header back to Barrows from the throw. He's twisting and turning away from Embleton. Embleton stands his ground, blocks the cross, will try and bring it clear. It's a nice cultured pass into Armstrong, who will loop it over the top. It's too long for Wern to collect. Evans deals with it. Here's Rowley once again put into a spot of bother by a pass from a teammate. Has to retreat back to goalkeeper Mahardy, who boots it up over the halfway line. Commanding header back into Scunthorpe's half from Feeney. Evans into Horton, whacks it upfield on the volley. Hayden with the header, then Denton comes in there, comes off the side of his head, eventually drops to Embleton, who just clatters that up into the air without really thinking about it, to be honest. Then there's a shove into the back of Armstrong by Brandon Horton. The two challenging for the same ball again. Horton is dragged down by the centre forward, and that is a blatant free kick.
Yeah, a little bit of a scruffy 30-45 seconds there. Ball's up in the air, one about 50 foot up in the air, bouncing and not getting good contact on their clearances. Yeah, real scrappy 45 seconds there from both teams. Just need to try and get it down and play. Those three midfield players need to influence the game a little bit more for me. Ollie Ewing's not really found his feet this evening. I know it's, to be fair to Carlisle, they are pressing every stage, especially in that mid-third of the pitch, not giving those three midfield players any time to get the ball down.
Mahardy sprays it over to the left from the free kick. Hayden with the header away from the edge of his own box. Carlisle keeping possession, but then the ball upfield isn't the best. Denton deals with it. Now is at the heart of defence for the Iron with Will Evans. Looks up, goes for that trademark ball forward again, puts it straight out of play for a throw.
I looked at my notes when we played in October, and I said they kind of quite aggressive with their approach. They leave little fouls, or they make sure they get contact with the Scunthorpe players just to let them know they're there, and they're doing exactly the same tonight, not letting Scunthorpe players have a second on the ball. Armstrong
with the flick on from the Carlisle throw. Evans will boot it back into the host's half, and he's on the ball again here. Here's the central defender. Into Ross Barrows at right back. Embleton stands off for the time being. Barrows cuts a pass back to Evans, and then it's shepherded back to Mahardy. Two unconvincing passes there, and then Mahardy's ball forward isn't the best either. Carlisle have themselves another throw. Williams into Hayden. Now it's at the feet of the Carlisle right back again. Pushes a pass back to Gabe Breeze, the goalkeeper. Feeney to Hayden on the edge of his own penalty area. Breeze on the ball again as Scunthorpe go to press. Breeze finds Galvin at right back. He runs straight into Ross Barrows. That'll be a Carlisle throw. Midway inside their own half on the left. Galvin will have to go and collect the ball again in the absence of a ball boy or ball girl. Multi-ball system being used here at Brunton Park. Galvin looks left, then looks right, a bit like that John Travolta Pulp Fiction meme. Eventually goes down the line. Barrows misses his header, but Armstrong, I thought he'd kept the ball in play there, but the assistant on this near side deciding it had gone out. Throw for Scunthorpe again, back inside their own half. Evans across to Horton, takes a heavy touch to push the ball in front of him, but then is forced to go back to Mahardy. Mahardy speared forward. Whitehall with the flick on. Roberts is onto it, has got him behind Galvin into the penalty area. He goes and he makes it 1-1. Callum Roberts scores again, and the iron level here at Brunton Park. Through their stand-in skipper tonight. Route 1 stuff from the visitors. Mahadi goes long. Whitehall with the flick on. Galvin didn't deal with it. Roberts ghosts in behind, makes his way into the penalty area and slots home again. In the 40th minute, it's Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1.
Yeah, real, like you say, Ollie, just Route 1, ball down the centre of the pitch. Danny Whitehall done well, just held his ground, just a little glancing header. Defender should have done better, really. Got caught under his feet a little bit, or didn't adjust his feet quick enough. Roberts was onto it like a flash, just cut across the defender. If he had brought him down, it would have been a penalty and probably a sending off. So he had to let him go. Just got his head up, picked his spot, finished perfectly in the bottom left-hand corner. So yeah, I would say definitely deserved. They've been good value for this equaliser, and probably the better of the two teams.
All square heading into the final 5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. Carlisle go long straight from kick-off. It's not an easy ball for Mahadi to deal with. Just as he was about to go and clear that on the volley, it bounced outside of his box. I think he wanted to claim it, then thought, right, I'm going to have to boot it clear. He's ended up giving away a cheap corner kick for Carlisle from their left with Embleton, who opened the scoring here at Brunton Park. It's a right-footed delivery into the 6-yard area. Scunthorpe just about deal with it. It drops to Wern, who hits it as he was scurrying onto that loose ball. It's deflected wide and out for another Carlisle corner.
Yeah, it's a great ball in from Embleton. A real power and pace for his right foot, in swinging. Well, that was a real dangerous one, just inside the 6-yard box.
Embleton will get another go here. Holds his left arm up into the air. Stands it up towards the back post this time. It's a free header away from Danny Whitehall. Douch will look to latch onto it. Almost does so. Carlisle win it back. Gilead spreads play to the left here. Wern chops onto his right foot. Drives it towards the Scunthorpe penalty area. Westbrook misses his clearance. It'll drop to McAdam. But earlier in the piece there was a foul on Gilead as he tried to put that ball into the mixer. And Carlisle have a free kick in a dangerous position here. Left of centre, 20 yards from goal.
Yeah, I think Westbrook could have just reacted a little bit quicker. He's just watching the ball drop down, not having no kind of awareness of what's around him, and then he swung his leg and committed the foul. It's about 22, 23 yards out of the box. Great position for a free kick.
Embleton's look dangerous on corners. What can he conjure up from this free kick? It's a 4-man wall for Scunthorpe United, a 5-man wall in actual fact, formed of the likes of Aidan Doush, Will Evans, Danny Whitehall, Zane Westbrook and Joe Rowley. Embleton is the only Carlisle player over this free kick, and you can see what he's thinking. Rory Mahadi at the moment leaving a big open area of his goal to his right hand side. He's gone towards his left hand post at the moment. If Embleton can whip it up and over the wall and into the top right hand corner, here he goes, he tries it, and he's got it over the crossbar instead.
Yeah, Paul Musselwhite's on the touch line. He's trying to, and he's kind of using his hand signal to say there's a big gap to Mahadi's right hand side. If they had the quality just to bend it over the wall, that could have been a threat. But I'm sure Paul Musselwhite have a word with him. He's saying to Ross Burrows just to get that information onto the pitch if it happens again before half time.
At the moment, Paul Musselwhite and Ross Barrows barking things at one another, let's say. Mahadi with the goal kick then. Whitehall backs into Feeney and lets the ball run through to Callum Roberts, who's brought down by Gilead as he cut inside from the right. Scunthorpe free kick. Callum Roberts not happy about the challenge. Up onto his feet.
He does that well. He just draws the foul. He goes across the defender and he just defender has to commit. And he's got that really well, Roberts there, drawing the foul.
Roberts over the free kick along with Ollie Ewing, right of centre. It's a good distance from goal, almost midway inside the Carlisle half, truth be told. The Iron will still send bodies forward from the back as Carlisle hold a defensive line 5 yards outside their own box. It's whipped towards the penalty area by Roberts, but there was a foul in there, not sure where. Carlisle free kick.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. There's probably about 15 bodies in there, so it could have been, honestly, Danny Whitehall got his shirt pulled, but that was after the referee had blown up.
Just outside of the Carlisle box then, this free kick. Breeze lofts it over to the right hand side of the field. Ajiboye keeps it in play, but then Westbrook will flick it back over the halfway line. Hayden boots into Scunthorpe territory. There's a header by Tyler Denton, a flick on by Ollie Ewing. Feeney will recover possession for Carlisle. Up from the back, rolls past a challenge from Ollie Ewing, but then gives the ball away to Callum Roberts, and Scunthorpe will counter again as Whitehall brings that ball forward down. I don't think there was too much in that challenge from Alex Gilead, but Whitehall gets the free kick.
Yeah, again, Danny Whitehall done really well. A little bit isolated figure out there. Ball's gone quite direct to him. He's got his body in line with his chest. He's got a little nudge from Gilead, and he's gone down. And another opportunity to put in the Carlisle's 18-yard box.
Fourth official, Alexander Beckett, holds up his LED board. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1 on BBC Radio Humberside Sport as Ewing kills his free kick in towards the left-hand side of the Carlisle penalty area. The header away doesn't leave the Cumbrians' box, so it's recycled. Ewing into Roberts down the right. So fronts up, Elliot Embleton pulls it back to Ewing, 18 yards from goal. His shot's blocked by Gilead. The ricochet falls to Joe Rowley. They switch play over to the left here to the iron. Denton on his weaker right foot plays a pass into Rowley, who rolls away from Gilead. Now it's Roberts, crosses in, left-footed from deep. Whitehall watches it all the way but can't connect, and it's out for a Carlisle goal kick.
Yeah, good little bit of play. Come back out to Roberts. It's a tough one. It's really crossed it really quite deep, probably about 40 yards out in a wide area. And then, like, in swinging, it's hard to adjust your body. Danny Whitehall, he's trying to, and you get him tightly marked as well. I think probably better off trying to get down to the byline and getting your crosses in. But you know, it's probably not for Danny Whitehall to score initially off that cross. It's probably the second or third balls or knockdowns.
We've entered the final minute of additional time. Rowley scampers over the halfway line, steaming forward down the left. He had Dausch as a runner but couldn't get the pass away, and Carlisle have it back inside their own penalty area with the goalkeeper Gabe Breeze in a pale lime green goalkeeping kit. Right footed, sends the ball forward. Embleton is able to flick it on. Ajiboye was looking to make the run but in behind. Here is the Carlisle winger, holds it up away from Brandon Horton on that right hand touch line. Pulled back to McAdam. Now here's Hayden on halfway for the Cumbrians. Loops over the top. Denton is able to head clear from the edge of his own box. Ewing does well to keep the ball at his feet, but then the pass isn't the best. Carlisle don't make the most of it, and it's into the gloves of Rory Mahadi, who hits it forward quickly on the volley, looking for that sidewinding ball in behind, and that will be the last action of this first half. Carlisle United and Scunthorpe United level pegging at the break. Fourth against third coming into this game. Both sides level on points and nothing separating them thus far. It was Elliot Embleton who gave the Cumbrians the lead in the 22nd minute. His shot from 20 yards. Rory Mahadi really should have dealt with it, but his effort to save the shot bobbled over his gloves and into the bottom right hand corner. Scunthorpe United though hitting back through their captain tonight, Callum Roberts. A long ball from Mahadi, flicked on by Danny Whitehall. Ryan Galvin didn't deal with it. Callum Roberts able to ghost in behind, made his way into the penalty area and slotted his finish into the bottom corner. 1-1 then, Steve Torpy.
Yeah, I think Scunthorpe have deserved the equaliser. I thought they started really well, first 20 minutes. They had a couple of minutes spell, Carlisle, when they scored, and then that gave them a little bit of confidence for about 10-15 minutes. And Scunthorpe grew into the game a little bit more towards the back end of the first half. Roberts with his goal gives them that little bit of confidence now, but I think it was well deserved, and you know, another goal for Roberts. He's that threat and he's that potential to score, just need that little bit of magic for one or two. But yes, open game, and I've quite enjoyed this first half.
Second half commentary to come on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies as well as online via BBC Sounds. Half time in the National League, it's Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1. We're going to be hearing from Connor Smith very shortly at the break here at Brunton Park on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, one of Scunthorpe United's signings last month. But firstly, let's bring you the scores in the rest of tonight's football, starting in the Premier League. 3 half-time scores. It's Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0, Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, and Tottenham Hotspur 0, Newcastle United 1. I presume an 8 o'clock kick-off. It's currently goalless between West Ham United and Manchester United with 19 minutes played. 3 games in the Championship tonight. A latest score for you: Leicester City 3, Southampton 0. That one's into stoppage time at the end of the first half. At half-time, it's Oxford United 0, Norwich City 2, and goalless between Birmingham City and West Bromwich Albion in a West Midlands derby. 36 minutes played at St Andrews in that one. In League One, goalless at half-time between Mansfield Town and Peterborough United. The game between Stevenage and Barnsley has been postponed, and in stoppage time it's also 0-0 between Wigan Athletic and Reading. And 2 games deep into stoppage time in League 2, both goalless as well, between Crawley Town and Cambridge United, as well as between Shrewsbury Town and Barrow. Finally, into the National League. A mixture of latest scores. It's currently Altrincham 1, Wealdstone 0, Boston United 1, Gateshead 0. Of course, here at Brunton Park, Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1. Second half commentary to come on all BBC Radio Humberside sport frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds. Morecambe 1, Tamworth 1, and then 2 half-time scores for you: Solihull Moors 2, Eastleigh 0, and Truro City 0, Woking 0. Not much changes then in terms of the table for these two sides at Brunton Park. Scunthorpe United stay in 3rd, level on points with Carlisle United in 4th. Goal difference separates the pair. Now then, let's hear from one of Scunthorpe United's signings in January. Connor Smith is back, having first joined the club on loan from Hearts back in September 2023. The 24-year-old midfielder has been telling me who he's kept in contact with, or who he did keep in contact with, from his first Iron spell.
Quite a few of them, to be honest. Danny Whitehall was probably the main one. Me and him were really close. You know what he's like, he's a big wind-up. So, me and him text quite often. Boys that are away, obviously Tom Pugh and Finn Shrimpton and boys like that, they were obviously my age. They were quite close. We were really close with them. But Danny was probably the main one. I'm still in a group chat with Danny, Boyce, Kyle Roberts. So even Ross Barrows, he travels back and forward to Scotland to see his grandparents sometimes. So I was meant to meet him and speak to him about this, but he never had a clue why I was wanting to meet him. And I ended up not meeting him. I had something in my family happen, so I had to miss it. But when I seen him, he was like, couldn't believe it. So it was a surprise to a few boys.
You're at the National League North playoff final as well. I remember seeing you and I thought, I recognise that face, and then I only managed to place it a few weeks later. How did that come about?
People would have thought that I was coming to the game because I was signing, or that's the rumours anyway. And I was actually just coming down because obviously my mates played. I'm still really good pals with most of the players, and they asked me to come down and watch the game. So I thought me and my mate just came down, watched the game, and it was nothing, just because I like the team and I love some of the boys. So it was nothing to do with signing or anything. And I just wanted to come down and watch the game and see them get promoted.
Why do you think you struck up such a good friendship?
I had a really good friendship with loads of them. I think obviously Michael Kelly was really close with all them, and it helped that he was Scottish and he knows what it was like to move from Scotland to England. So he really helped. He helped me massively to actually be involved with the boys, because it is hard. It's hard to move club and move country that you don't know anyone. So boys like that, they helped me so much, and credit to them. They were the ones that kind of got me going. If it wasn't from them, I wouldn't be showing how I was on the football pitch. So it helps so much for me.
Let's talk about that first spell. 7 goals in 19 appearances. As you said earlier, you had to wait a while before you hit the ground running, but when you did, you seized your opportunity. When do you feel that things first clicked during that initial spell?
I was coming off the bench a lot and I wasn't really happy with it. I was in and out with the manager before, and I was saying, like, what do I need to do to start? I felt like I was coming on, and when I was coming on I was doing well. And he basically said to me, I think it was Spennymoor at home down here, and he basically said to me, you're going to play tomorrow, let me see what you've got, basically. And it's basically a sink or swim, see how you play. And luckily I scored 2 goals within 10 minutes.
It's Smith who struck it right-footed, and he's found the bottom right-hand corner. His first goal for the club for Connor Smith, and some strike that was. Stepped up to it, 20 yards from goal, right-footed. He's beaten James Montgomery, all ends up, and found the bottom right-hand corner. A really bright start here for Scunthorpe United at Glanford Park. They lead Spennymoor Town by 1-0. Connor Smith's played in. Could it be 2-2 in his first start for the club? Still going. Finds a bottom left-hand corner this time. What a lightning quick start this is for Scunthorpe United. And goals for Connor Smith coming along like London buses on his first start for the club. A delicious free kick for his first. Wriggled into space in the penalty area and tucked home for his second. And inside 8 minutes, Scunthorpe United leads Spennymoor Town by 2-0.
Basically, the rest is history from there on. And if it wasn't from that, I probably wouldn't be back here now. So it was amazing at the time. And the first month or so was obviously hard. And when I finally did get that first start, the family was down here for it. So it just all came really quickly. Within a week, I was wanting to go back home. I wasn't playing. I was unhappy. And as soon as I got that start, and then it just kind of kicked on, and I was playing every game, and I was happy, enjoying my football.
Can I ask you about that first month? Obviously, as you say, you're in and out of the side, your first time moving away from your family, everything going on off the pitch. How difficult was all of that combined?
It was tough. Away from home, I had no one down here. My mum and dad would try and come down as much as possible, but it's a lot of money to travel down every weekend. It was costing him a fortune, but I always try to go down home as much as possible because obviously my missus was pregnant at the time, so it was tough. And then when you finally move, it's about 2-3 weeks it took me to actually settle in. And then when I finally settled in, I started to feel myself getting better in training, started coming on games, doing well. And then it was only a matter of time before I knew that I was going to get a start at some point, and I just knew that I had to take that. And if I didn't take it, I wouldn't be playing, which is fair enough. But I just knew I had to take it, and I'm luckily it was here in front of the fans, which they all seen in first hand.
When you joined, it was 1st of September, wasn't it? Things unravelled off the field quite quickly within the space of a month. Did you have any idea of that when you first joined, and what was it like seeing that happen in such a short space of time?
I had no idea. I just thought I was coming to a football club that was fine. I had no idea what was going on in the background. I tend to not really go on social media with stuff like that. I don't really look at stuff like that. But then when I was here, I heard there was a transfer embargo, which would have affected me in the January window. And then when it did come to it, they wanted me to stay, but it was impossible. It couldn't happen because of the embargo, so I had to go back. And then by the time I went back, I had signed for a new club, so it wasn't really possible for me to come back. And then I spoke to them recently, a few months ago, and then it wasn't the right time. Now is the right time, so finally here.
How does what you experienced in the first spell at Scunthorpe United compare to what's happened at Hamilton Academical in the last year?
We were obviously delayed payments and stuff down there, up there in Scotland. We got relegated. I don't know the exact amount of points, but it was over 30 points we got deducted. We would have still been in the Championship if it wasn't for that. I feel so bad for the club, and it's a really good club that even down there, like the fans are amazing down there. They were good to me. I loved it there. It was the right time to move on for me. And obviously with the club having financial issues, they wanted players to leave. So it was basically, it worked out good for me that I could manage to come back here under bad circumstances, obviously. But I wish Hamilton all the best, and I'm just happy to be here.
The club's been taken over since, but there was at least a delay in the payment of December's wages. Did you end up getting paid, or did you have to forgo that before making this move?
No, I managed to get it. I'm thankful for that. The new owners that have came in, they sound really good. They're trying to help the club, advertising stuff, and they're trying to build the club up as much as possible. But obviously, they've bought a club who are in debt. They're trying to get boys out, which is understandable. There's been a few of us that have left already, but no, us leaving is just going to help the club even more. Like, if they need to play young boys for the rest of the season, that's just what they need to do. If they want to sort their wage bill out and they need to sort their money situations out, then that's what they need to do. And I just wish them all the best, and I hope they can stay up this season and kick on.
That's Connor Smith, who returned to Scunthorpe United last month permanently on a 2.5-year deal from Hamilton Academical for an undisclosed fee. If you missed that interview, it is available to listen to in full on our dedicated page on BBC Sounds. Just search for Scunthorpe United. Make sure you click subscribe while you're there, and you will be notified as soon as a new episode is uploaded, including post-match reaction from tonight's game here at Brunton Park. At half-time, it is Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1 at the Scunthorpe page, providing you the latest Iron news and interviews. Second half commentary to come then on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies, online via BBC Sounds. Let's get a look at the national sporting picture. I won't actually say that. I won't go and hear from Steve Borthwick, because the Scunthorpe United players are emerging from the tunnel beneath us here at the bottom of the main stand at Brunton Park in that third strip, all in black. Callum Roberts the first to head out onto the field, followed by the likes of Ollie Ewing, Zane Westbrook, Will Evans, Aidan Doush, Brandon Horton, Joe Rowley, Danny Whitehall, Tyler Denton and Ross Barrows. So we're just waiting for the goalkeeper Rory Mahardy, and here come the Carlisle contingent led by their own captain Morgan Feeney. Haven't still seen a sign of Rory Mahardy. There he is, jogging across his 6-yard area at the moment, so we're not too far from getting back underway. Former Iron striker Steve Torpey is your expert summariser for the second half of this game. Steve, what are you expecting from this second half? What's going to be needed from either side to try and find a winner?
I think a little bit of composure from Scunthorpe. It's not been a game with loads of chances. Both teams have struggled to get real clear-cut chances. So I think, you know, if one does occur, or they produce or create something, and they have to take that, because that could be the goal-winning game. The goal. Let's get my words in.
Now you know how I feel.
the goal that wins the game, should I say? But both teams are going to come for it. Carlisle need to win, don't they? Really, I think if they lose this game, or even if they draw it, I think that's probably automatic promotion for me.
Mark Hughes has already conceded its.
Yeah, but sometimes they say that, don't they, to relieve a little bit of pressure. But Scunthorpe, on the other hand, need to win it as well. So I think both teams will go out and try and win the game. So that hopefully will add to the entertainment and hopefully create a few more chances than they did the first half.
Thomas Parsons, the referee, checking his watch inside the centre circle in a purple refereeing shirt with black shorts and socks. And for some reason, there's a delay here before he gets the thumbs up from Gabe Breeze to restart this match, and from Rory Mahardy. Checks the watch on his left wrist and then sets the one on his right as well, then back to his left, blows his whistle, and we're back underway. Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1, second half commentary from the National League, live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe shooting towards their own supporters in this second period in that black third strip from right to left. Carlisle in their home shirt, the blue and red striped effort with blue shorts and blue socks. Scunthorpe in possession. Is there enough weight on that back pass to Rory Mahardy? Indeed there is, for him to whack it forward. Comes off the top of Morgan Feeney's head, and it will be caught by Gabe Breeze. Rolls it out quickly to Aaron Hayden. Here's David Ajiboye dropping deep to receive that pass. Almost lost it to Tyler Denton, but wrestles it away from the Scunthorpe United left back. It's back with Breeze again to hoist into the centre circle. Joe Rowley ducks underneath it for Will Evans to win, and then it's scooped forward, brought under control by Doush, running at the Carlisle back line, skips inside, now it's Whitehall in the D, lays it off to Roberts, straight at Breeze.
Yeah, good bit of play. Doush got it, drove it, give it to Roberts. Roberts played it out, to, I think it was Westbrook, I'm not 100% sure who it was, or Danny Whitehall. Give it to Roberts, cut inside, didn't really get the power, tried to curl it into the bottom left hand side, just didn't get the power or accuracy from Roberts. But again, Scunthorpe do start second half's a lot better than the first half. It's something, I don't know if it's psychological or what it is, but straight away you come out this second half with a lot more intent.
From the throw down the left, Doush holds it up away from his man, then wriggles away from Ajiboye, pulls it back to Denton, who looks up, assesses his options, tries to whip it into the penalty area, comes off the chest of McAdam, but Scunthorpe onto the second ball. Denton will switch play from left to right, headed clear by Galvin up towards the halfway line. It's an awkward one for Barrows to deal with. He just has to go long down the channel. Westbrook will chase it down, applies the press to Feeney, who will feed the ball to his goalkeeper Breeze to clear, but comes straight back to the iron. They will try again from the halfway line with Evans. Slips into the centre circle. Now here's Horton bombing on from the back, finds Denton in space at left back. He digs out a cross from left to right, goes over the top of Danny Whitehall's head, but he was coming from an offside position, and Carlisle have themselves a free kick inside their own penalty area, left of centre.
Yeah, it must have just drifted a yard off, a little bit impatient there from Danny Whitehall, but it weren't a great ball in it. It's starting to rain now and the wind's picked up a little bit. It was just floating kind of to the edge of the box. It was like an out-swinging left-footed cross. Needs to be driven in with these conditions.
Yeah, the rain is coming down. It's hard to see from this main stand, but if you look to our left you can catch it in the glare of the floodlights. Carlisle throw. Galvin taking it. Wern was making a late run from midfield. I'll run you through the two lineups in a moment. Actually, I pretty much did do so when Scunthorpe's players came out for the start of this second half, but no changes from either team at the break. Hayden rampaging forward from defence, tries to thread that through, looking for the run of Williams at right back, goes out for a goal kick. So Carlisle lining up with Breeze in goal. It's a back four of Williams, Hayden, Feeney and Galvin. The two holding midfielders are Gilead and McAdam, with Wern playing behind a front three of Ajiboye, Armstrong through the middle and Embleton on the left. The subs: Harper, Thomas, Mayer, Ellis, Wyke, Parker and Con Clark. Scunthorpe have Mahadi in goal, a back four of Barrows, Evans, Horton and Denton. In central midfield, Westbrook, Rowley and Ewing, and a front three of Roberts the captain, Whitehall and Dausch. The bench: Beeston, Jones, Ubazonu, Starbuck, Dawson, Hurst and Smith. The ball will trickle through to the Carlisle shot stopper Breeze, just inside his own penalty area. Clips it over to the far side where it's chested down by Galvin. Knocks it back into central defence. Feeney will bring it up towards the halfway line and then retreats, starts heading backwards. Hayden on the ball. Now McAdam finds Williams in space down the right, attacking his man Denton. Slips it through to Ajiboye, who's just shrugged off of it by Brandon Horton, who has to concede the corner. Ajiboye's gone down behind the dead ball line. Says to the referee that he won't need the physio. Up onto his feet slowly but surely, and it's a Carlisle corner.
Yeah, good defending from Brandon Horton there, nice and strong. Just put the striker on the ground, won the ball nice and cleanly. Only thing is conceded a corner.
Embleton over the set piece then. From the right, whips it into the 6-yard area, almost goes all the way into the back of the net. Clearance away in the nick of time from a Scunthorpe United perspective. Carlisle try again, crossed in from deep. Rowley hammers it out for a throw.
Yeah, I don't know if that actually hit the far post, Ollie. Everyone seemed to leave it. It bounced, just like skidded off the surface. I think hit the far post and then just ricocheted out. No Carlisle players gambled. Scunthorpe let off there a little bit fortuitous for Carlisle, but it should have been somebody there just to clear the line, shouldn't it? It bounced initially.
There's just been a slight sense of anxiety when those corner kicks have been whipped in by Elliot Embleton thus far tonight, and Scunthorpe getting away with one there. Carlisle forced back into their own half though, having had possession high up the park. 5 minutes gone at the start of the second period. Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1. Westbrook brings the ball down inside the centre circle. Dausch first time forward. Ewing was looking to run onto it. Dausch had been brought down anyway. Referee tried to play the advantage. Will bring it back for a free kick to the iron just outside of the centre circle. Inside Carlisle territory, left to centre. Rowley will place the ball down and it will be Ollie Ewing to take. Roberts is in acres of space over on the far side. I don't think he's looking for the ball though at the moment. He'll probably be quickly met by Galvin if it comes over there. Ewing to take. Holds both arms up above his head. Floats into the penalty area. Evans is making the late run. Carlisle get onto the ball first and Galvin plays out from his own box. Nice little back heel from Embleton to the Carlisle left back. Tries to drive it towards Ajiboye in space. The ball ricochets through to Williams. Driving forward from right back. It's again not the best of passes. Those two haven't quite been on the same wavelength during this game. It's out for a Scunthorpe throw. Ewing will scamper forward up to the halfway line from Denton's throw-in. The left back will then knock it back to Brandon Horton. Horton sweeps it across to Will Evans, midway inside his own half, and now it's Ross Barrows who'll get a touch at right back. Goes over the top. Westbrook will look to chase it down. I think that's got enough on it for Feeney to have it covered. Indeed, the Carlisle captain does. It's a goal kick to the hosts.
Yeah, and Carlisle were a little bit critical of that in the first half, over it in the passes and it running out for goal kicks and into the goalkeeper's hands and a lot of offsides. Just to delay their run, but get a little bit more quality on the ball, a bit more height and lofted passes rather than driven passes, because it's going to skid on with the wind as well.
Carlisle in possession. Gilead, I think, was looking to power that forward, but it got caught in the wind. It eventually drops to Williams at right back. Now McAdam tries to whip that down the wing. Ewing has it covered. Comes off the side of his right boot and out for a throw. Williams, not taking the throw in from the correct position, is pulled a few yards back by referee Thomas Parsons. From the throw, Embleton juggles it. 1-2 between him and Williams. Embleton back inside to Williams. 25 yards out, but just runs straight into Brandon Horton as he delays the pass. Scunthorpe United retrieve possession, and here's Horton on the edge of the centre circle. Loses out to McAdam. Carlisle try again. They'll operate down the left on this occasion. Galvin into Wern. Galvin continues his run on the overlap. It comes inside though to Embleton, 20 yards out, hits it straight into the midriff of Will Evans, and the loose ball will drop to Joe Rowley, who shields it away from Armstrong. Rides a challenge. Dausch is trying to make a run down that left-hand side. Rowley though just runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac, straight into Wern, gets the throw in for his troubles.
Yeah, a little bit difficult. He kind of run with the ball, tried to get his head up, trying to look for some support and some options, and there was absolutely nothing. Danny Whitehall needs to get across and run in that channel. Just give the player at least one option. There was no options on for him.
I think the problem was Dausch was trying to make an angled run down the side, but Williams was preventing him from doing so. And that meant Rowley didn't really have any other options. Carlisle on the ball. They spread play over to the left. Galvin. Gilead is bombing on from midfield, and the left back will look for his teammate. Gilead applies enough pressure for Evans to clear away. Feeney has it at the back again for the hosts. Short pass on this occasion to Gilead. Looks up, goes over the top. Is the flag going to stay down here? Evans' arm has gone up into the air, but the flag does stay down. Armstrong into the penalty area, whips it across the box, comes off the back of Brandon Horton, will come out to McAdam here. Carlisle gaining momentum, looking to retake the lead. Embleton 25 yards out, drifts inside, and his effort straight into the gloves, stings the gloves of Rory Maharding.
Yeah, good little way of play, quite a comfortable save, nice height, just kind of palmed it down and picked up on the second attempt. That'll hopefully give him a little bit more confidence. Maharding, little nudge there from Danny Whitehall, and he's trying to build possession, and those little nudges and free kicks just stop the momentum and stop the kind of flow of the game for Scunthorpe. We need to try and get into some rhythm. They're struggling a little bit at the moment.
If you missed the attendance, 5,226 here at Brunton Park tonight. That includes 259 travelling Scunthorpe United supporters who are getting rather soaked in the uncovered terrace behind the goal to our left-hand side. Horton chests down a Carlisle long ball forward and then whacks it straight out of play on the volley. As a clearance dissects the two opposing managers, Mark Hughes and Andy Butler. As Connor Smith, we heard from him at half-time, he's about to come on. He's already taken off his training kit. Dausch goes down on halfway, wants the free kick, doesn't get it. Carlisle come forward. As McAdam is felled in midfield. Maybe there was a chance of an attack down the right-hand side, but the referee's pulled it back, and Joe Rowley goes into the book, his 8th yellow card of the season.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there. I think he's asking the referee that it should have got a foul for Scunthorpe a few seconds before, and the referee's let it flow. Just a late challenge, kind of just slid in with his studs showing, just caught the player's ankle. So yeah, it was a definite yellow card for Joe Rowley there.
Thomas Parsons brandishes his first card of the night, and then his next action is to apply the vanishing spray for where this Carlisle free kick will be taken. Right of centre, again a good distance from goal. Embleton will hoist that into the mixer. Header across the box by Feeney, and it's turned home, Ajiboye getting in around the back, and he applies the finishing touch, and Carlisle United retake the lead in the 57th minute. 2-1 up at home to Scunthorpe United.
Yeah, it was a ball into the box. Carlisle player headed it across, and it was a simple tap in from about 2-3 yards out. Basic stuff. First contact on the ball. If you can't get first contact, get bodies in the round for that second contact. Too easy. It's a cheap free kick from Joe Rowley. Frustration where it comes from originally, but something that should have been avoided.
Will Evans not happy about something in the penalty area there. Was getting no change out of Thomas Parsons. And Connor Smith will come on, having seen his Scunthorpe United side fall behind once again at Brunton Park. And Connor Smith will be coming on. I think this will be a like-for-like change down the left for Aidan Doush. His full debut ending just shy of the hour mark.
Yeah, again, a little bit frustrating. He's shown little glimpses of good play and his ability, but not really got the ball. It's a tough place to come, to really influence the game. Robert Savin had a massive influence and they scored the goal, but he's still one of those wide players who have not really had much of the ball at all.
Carlisle throw. Ahead once more through Ajiboye. Evans with the clearance. It's miscontrolled by Hayden, and Whitehall has got in behind here. Slips in Connor Smith with his first touch. Takes himself into the penalty area. Tries to flash it across the face of goal. It's deflected into the gloves of Gabe Breeze.
Yeah, good bit of play. Probably received that opportunity too early. Smith, he kind of just waited, did and dallied. Not up to match tempo at the moment, but Scunthorpe need to find a way to get this equaliser. Not really created much at all over the 60 odd minutes that we've played. No real clear cut chances. Roberts was a bit of quality, but apart from that it's been very limited chances for both teams.
Yeah, indeed. The goalkeeper has been forced into too much action. The saves that they've had to make, well, Hardy should have really made a regulation save for Carlisle's opener. Gabe Breeze hasn't been tested too much. Most efforts have been straight down his throat. Scunthorpe free kick from the right, deep inside the Carlisle half. Evans and Horton will go up from the back here, perhaps optimistically. Carlisle will keep a line, but they take it quickly. Smith in behind here. Flag goes up. Connor Smith is offside. Quickly taken free kick. Smith, though, not timing his run, and the scoreline stays Carlisle United 2, Scunthorpe United 1.
Yeah, unlucky. Good improvisation. Just took it really quick. Great finish. But just strayed a little bit offside there. Unlucky. That's a fine line between going too early and getting that perfection with the timing, and it's just I went probably a second or two too early.
Carlisle free kick, bang on the edge of their own penalty area. Breeze hoofs it forward. Evans with the header away. Here is Smith, dragged down on the halfway line by McAdam. Went down in a bit of a spin. Free kick for the Iron, right of centre. Thomas Parsons will just calm any Scunthorpe tempers. We've played an hour here at Brunton Park. If you're just listening in on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, Scunthorpe United falling behind once again. 2-1 they trail at Carlisle United in this tussle between 4th and 3rd heading into tonight's encounter. Ewing from the free kick tries to play in Callum Roberts down the right hand side. Elliot Embleton attempts to usher that out of play for a goal kick. Roberts does enough to stop that from happening, but it's a throw in the end for the Cumbrians, right by the corner flag, in the corner between the Andrew Jenkins stand opposite us and that uncovered terrace housing the visiting Iron fans. From the throw, Ollie Ewing will regain possession for Scunthorpe. Now it's Horton in possession inside the centre circle. First time ball, not enough on it. Ajiboye will get there first. Bursting forward down the right. Rowley goes to meet him. Can't clip the winger, otherwise he'll be off for a second yellow card. Ajiboye cuts inside. McAdam. Ajiboye again rides a challenge of Rowley. He's got to be careful here, the Scunthorpe United midfielder. He's tripped him. I think this will be just a warning, perhaps a final warning, perhaps not even anything, because Joe Rowley has just decided to do the sensible thing and walk straight into the penalty area to defend this free kick.
Yeah, I think the referee would have. I think he would have given a yellow card if it weren't Joe Rowley there. I think he's come jogging over the referee as if he was going to banish a card. Realised they'd already booked him. Just give him a reprieve, another chance. But like you say, he's only got one more chance, and he will be in the book. Subsequently, a double yellow card. He calls a red card, so needs to be really careful.
Embleton with the free kick from the right-hand touchline. One-man wall of Connor Smith. In it goes. Ajiboye with the back heel. Almost falls to McAdam. Can't pull the trigger. The clearance comes out to Galvin. Oh, that's not far away. Would have been some goal that from the Carlisle left-back. Wide of the right-hand post. Goal kick's taken quickly by Mahardy. Looking to get Smith in behind. Roberts in behind, rather. Headed out by Galvin. Throw for Scunthorpe.
Yeah, it was a great strike from the fullback. I think it was just left-footed, looked like it was curling in. I think hit the pole behind, which give a few crowd. Some of the crowd thought it was actually in the back of the net, but I think it was about 2 yards wide.
Play opening up here for Scunthorpe during this latest passage. Denton glued to the left-hand touchline, feeds into Connor Smith, trying to work room away from Aaron Hayden, who's gone out wide to meet him. The pair go down. Play continues. Referee not interested. Scunthorpe United heading backwards though. It's Evans behind the halfway line. Finds Smith again out wide on the left. Flicks in behind for Denton to run onto. Pulled back to Smith. He's bundled over in the penalty area. Referee immediately waves it away.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like a bit of a tangle of legs, but it could have easily been given as a penalty for me. The referee's in a good position. I don't know, that doesn't make it right, but he was unsighted, or he was sighted. He had a clear view.
Straight in front of him.
So, you've got to respect his decision there.
Connor Smith, though, causing problems down that left-hand side with his introduction in this second half. Wern with the press, forces the iron back to Mahardy, hoists it upfield. Whitehall will watch it come down, but Hayden booms a header away. Evans, his header finds Armstrong. It'll ricochet through to Horton. Denton on the left-hand touchline, cuts inside, away from the challenge of Ajiboye, tries to thread it in behind. That's intercepted by McAdam. Ajiboye sidesteps a challenge from Zane Westbrook, but now it's Carlisle's turn to head backwards. Hayden will deliver the clearance. Ajiboye holds it up well, away from Horton, flicks it back to McAdam, who drives into space, still going as the midfielder. He's got Galvin in support. McAdam delays the pass, but here is Galvin into the penalty area, gets away from Barrows, fires his shot over the crossbar and behind.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate there. There's a bit of an argument going on with Ross Barrows and Callum Roberts. Callum Roberts needs to get back. We know his qualities going forward, but also he needs to have some defensive duties, and he just stopped there. Really frustrates me as a player and a coach. Ross Barrows is screaming at him, track your runner. That could have easily been 3-1, game over.
Andy Butler calling over a triumvirate of players to get ready to come on. They are Joe Starbuck, Alfie Beeston and Carlton Ubazonu. From the goal kick then, Roberts cushions a header back to Whitehall, flicks it over the top. No one knows where that ball's going to bounce. Connor Smith goes for it. It'll be dealt with by Ryan Williams. Did well there. That was an awkward ball for him to bring under control, with Connor Smith breathing down his neck. Just decides to play a pass and get it away from his penalty area as far as possible down the channel. It'll be picked up by Brandon Horton. Fires it upfield again. Feeney with the header out from the back from Carlisle. Denton flicks on, Smith turns it over the top. Hayden with the header away for Carlisle. Armstrong will bring it down for the host. Now here's Wern, looks over his left and right shoulder to see where that iron back line is. Pushes it back to Williams, chops away from Connor Smith, loses his footing on the wet turf as he does so, but keeps the ball at his feet, and Carlisle will build from the back here. Embleton dropping deep to pull the strings. 1-2 between him and Wern inside the centre circle. Embleton bursts into space, gives it to McAdam. Now here's Williams, wide on the right-hand side, running at Connor Smith. No real options in support down that flank. Pulled back to McAdam to whip in from deep. Barrows heads out of his own box. He'll drop to Callum Roberts here. Tries to drive away from Wern, is pulled back. That'll be a yellow card for the Carlisle man. Yellow card coming in the 67th minute. Steve Torpey, I'm going to need your help probably in presiding over a triple change.
Reinforcements are ready. Need to try and change the game, need to get back into the game. Time is running out, it's still got plenty of time, but time is only got some fresh legs from Saturday. That little bit of kind of impotence and a bit of kind of speed and for Ubizono and Starbuck maybe down that right hand side just to give him another dimension.
Carlisle forced back to the corner flag. McAdam is being put under all sorts of pressure by Zane Westbrook, and Westbrook has done enough there to get the throw right by that left-hand corner flag for Scunthorpe United. Those three substitutes will wait to come on as Andy Butler waits and sees what comes from this throw as Steve Torpey blows his nose right in front of his microphone.
I moved my mic.
Connor Smith ball back to Tyler Denton. Sorry, that's really tickled me. Luke Armstrong sliding in there to get it back for Carlisle. Tyler Denton leapfrogging him to get the ball straight back though. Fires a ball into the box. Here's Westbrook, flicks it back to Whitehall and it's blocked, and Gilead will slam it clear up to Will Evans on halfway. Scunthorpe try again. Horton into Rowley. Perhaps he's about to come off on a yellow card. Horton brings it forward. Denton on the left-hand touchline had nothing on there really, swarmed by a combination of Ajiboye and Wern. Carlisle clear. Comes straight back to Will Evans. Over the top of Wern, who was pressing. Horton has Armstrong over his left shoulder, gives it to Mahadi to fire straight towards the substitutes. That's not the best of balls from the Iron goalkeeper, and I think that triple change is on the way. The fourth official, Alexander Beckett, gives the notes to the assistant referee on this near side of who's coming on, who's coming off. We know the players coming on, who will be making way.
Yeah, I think you could be right with Joe Rowley coming. I don't know. Danny Whitehall's coming off. There's one.
Yep. Danny Whitehall, the first to come off. Carlton Ubazonu is on. So Ross Barrows know that he's coming off. He's already come over to this near side. He's waiting for the fourth official to put the numbers into the LED board. Joe Rowley is also there as well.
Yeah, I think that's told us what's happened. Yeah, I think so. I think they want to get it done, get the fresh players on the pitch, the subs on the pitch. A fair deuce to the subs, not sulking. They come off with great tempo to try and get the players on as quickly as they can to get this game restarted.
Here we go.
It's the fourth official taking forever.
Oh dear, he's had a shocker right at the last. He's not put the numbers in properly. There they are.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
So all pretty much like for like changes. Joe Starbuck slots in for Ross Barrows at right back. Alfie Beeston has entered that 3-man central midfield, although probably looks as though he'll play off the top. Carlton Ubazonu is currently through the middle. I think there may have been a slight tweak in midfield. We'll wait and see how it pans out. Looks like a diamond in there, Steve. Westbrook is the shielding midfielder. Smith alongside Ewing, and Beeston playing behind a front two of sorts of Ubazonu and Roberts.
Yeah, it could be. It's a little bit hard to make
It's hard to tell for at the moment with Carlisle having a throw down the right.
It could be a 4-4-1-1. Kind of Beeston just playing in behind Ubazonu, linking up with him.
Carlisle though looking for a cushion as they attempt to double their lead. On the attack down the right, Armstrong twisting away from Tyler Denton. McAdam now infield to Williams. Back to McAdam on this right hand touchline, midway inside the Scunthorpe half. Too heavy a pass, Denton able to clear. Ubazonu would chase it down, just run straight into Aaron Hayden, who combines with Feeney to get the ball away. McAdam hooks it towards Ajiboye, who can't hold it up. Here's Westbrook, finds Ewing inside the centre circle, lets the ball roll across his body into space, fed into the path of Callum Roberts, one-on-one with Galvin, still going Roberts, tries to slip it back into the box. It's covered by Alex Gilead. From the byline, we'll leave it to Galvin, then Embleton back to Gilead to clear. Westbrook funnels the ball to Joe Starbuck. Here is the iron right back, but he's retreating towards the halfway line under pressure from Embleton. Horton now on the ball inside the centre circle. Westbrook looks up, goes over the top again, looking for the run of Roberts. Galvin has that covered, then Gilead with the header. Denton cushions it forward. Ewing leaves it to Ubazon, who just can't roll away from Morgan Feeney, and Ubazon, who's dragged the Carlisle captain down in the process. Free kick.
Yeah, it's a high tempo. Carlisle like to play that way, like to get in their faces like they did at Glanford Park, and they're doing that and they're affecting Scunthorpe. We're not giving them any. As soon as the ball comes into the attacking Scunthorpe half, or especially the attacking third, onto them like a rash. They're not giving them any time, and Carl Newbazon has only just been on a couple of minutes. Getting up to that tempo, the speed of the game can become a little bit more difficult and does take time.
Rain is driving down here at Brunton Park at the moment. I hope they've got lights in the car park, because I think it's going to be particularly muddy in there. I hope Steve Torpey and I don't go for a slip. Ubazonu, Ewing wrestles it away from Embleton. Now it's Connor Smith. Denton is on the overlap and Smith finds him. Denton from an acute angle is felled nastily by Williams, who goes straight into the book for that challenge.
Yeah, just a little bit late, weren't it? So then down this left-hand side, looking to cross the ball, play it down the channel. As he's played it, just slightly delayed challenge from Williams. It looked at quite a nasty one, because as he slid in, he just caught his left foot. Hopefully it's not too serious.
Denton is still down at the moment. Gets a pat on the back from one of the Scunthorpe substitutes. I think it's Carl Hurst there, along with Joey Dawson warming up at the moment. Denton is back up onto his feet, okay to continue. Free kick will be taken from pretty much bang on the left-hand touchline, level with the corner of the penalty area. Denton is slowly walking off that injury. Ollie Ewing over the dead ball delivery. One-man wall for Carlisle of Adjiboye. I think Hugh Parker, the Hull City loanee, is about to come on for Carlisle after this free kick is taken. Ollie Ewing over it then. Thomas Parsons once again wants a word with someone, having a chat with McAdam on this occasion. So the free kick delayed from being taken. Now the whistle will be blown. Here comes Ollie Ewing then, right-footed, sent it in towards the near post, sliced away by Williams back there defending. Scunthorpe throw-in. Ewing quickly into Connor Smith, but lost the ball in between his legs. Carlisle have it back. That's a nice turn from Embleton. Flicks into Adjiboye, who can't match the skill of his teammate. Slices it out for a throw. For some reason, Andy Butler getting booed by the home supporters as he caught that ball. Not sure what he did to earn that reaction, unless I missed something. Starbuck. Back to Rory Mahadi. Hugh Parker still waiting to come on. Can't quite see. It's number 14, so he's going to be replacing Elliot Embleton in a moment. Mahadi. Hayden's flick on, falls to Smith, turned away, rebound falls to Upazon, who goes sliding in there, kept out, and then Callum Roberts' shot is over the crossbar, and Connor Smith finish not clinical enough, still 2-1 to Carlisle.
Yeah, I thought that was the equaliser. He had all the time in the world. Great first touch out of his feet, probably about 12 yards out, centre of the goal. Just place it in the corner, place it with a little bit of pace on the ball. It's too easy, no conviction there. You know, I know he's just come on and can make excuses, but that should have been an equaliser. It's a poor miss.
Yeah, it was too languid a finish, you would say, from Connor Smith. Bodies everywhere inside the Carlisle penalty area. Ryan Galvin is down at the moment. I think it was an awkward collision there as Carlton Ubazonu slid in to try and turn home the rebound. Callum Roberts back up onto his feet. Hugh Parker still waiting to enter the fray. Maybe they'll decide to change things. It was Elliot Embleton who was about to come off, but they're still treating Ryan Galvin at the moment. So a delay in play here with less than quarter of an hour to go. You're listening to BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Carlisle United 2, Scunthorpe United 1. The Cumbrians retaking the lead in the second half through David Adjiboye. We're on air until 10 o'clock tonight. You can have your say on this game on BBC Radio Humberside Sport by calling 08000 66 5959. The text number is 81333. Just remember to start your message with the letters RH. If you want to give us your views on social media, it's at Humberside Sport on X. The WhatsApp number 08000 321 333, and our email address is humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. Ryan Galvin has hobbled off. It's still set to be Elliot Embleton coming off for Carlisle in a moment to be replaced by Hugh Parker. But firstly, it'll be a Carlisle free kick following that collision between Ryan Galvin and Elliot Embleton. Ryan Galvin and Carlton Ubazonu, rather. From the free kick, it's a free header back into the Carlisle half from Brandon Horton. Ajiboye's header balloons up into the air. It'll eventually drop here for Wern. Flicks it back to Feeney. Now it's at the feet of Carlisle goalkeeper Breeze inside his 6-yard box. Closed down by Ewing. Gets the clearance away. Denton will power a header back into the Carlisle half. Flicked on by Smith. Couldn't find Ubazonu. And then he leaves out a left leg, which looked to have brought Williams down, but he's immediately back up onto his feet, the Carlisle right back. And it's just a throw in for Scunthorpe United. Evans in possession inside the centre circle for the visitors. Now Horton. First time pass short to Westbrook. Smith drops short to receive the pass. Back into the centre circle again to Evans. Westbrook pulling the strings from deep. Horton on the ball. Left to centre. Finds Denton down the left-hand channel. Into Ewing. 30 yards from goal. Drifts inside. Back to Evans again. Scunthorpe United going laterally from left to right. Here is Roberts over on the far side, left-footed ball in, and Hayden decides to let that bounce through to Gabe Breeze. Good decision in the end.
Yeah, it's a good ball in. I don't think people might expect it. Roberts normally has 2 or 3 touches, delays, but he's just taken a touch in swinging with his left foot, just bouncing 6-yard box. You know, can't all Ubazonu or one of your midfield players attacking that space to get on the end of it.
Harper's waiting to come on for Carlisle as well as possession is given away. Ubazonu can't make the most of it. He's lost it to Alex Gilead. His sliding challenge flicks the ball out for a throw-in. The Carlisle United supporters are desperate for those substitutions to be made. And finally, Thomas Parsons has seen that both Hugh Parker and Cameron Harper are ready to come on. In the 80th minute, firstly is Parker on for Embleton, who gave Carlisle the lead as early as the 22nd minute. Hugh Parker on loan from Hull City. Embleton has gone off over on the far side in front of the Andrew Jenkins stand opposite us, and he'll work his way round, walking past the travelling Scunthorpe fans at the end where he scored his opening goal. Hugh Parker on then. I think this other change may be at left back for Ryan Galvin. I may be wrong. We will wait and see. No, I am one for a change. I am right. Galvin off, Cameron Harper on. At the moment then, Carlisle United climbing back up to 3rd. 6 points behind York City in 2nd, but having played a game more. Scunthorpe dropping to 4th. But there's still time for an equaliser here at Brunton Park. Into the final 10 minutes of normal time we go. Starbuck dinks the ball over the top down the right-hand flank. Roberts falls kindly into his path, pulls it back to Starbuck. Edge at the penalty area, Roberts hangs up a left-footed cross into the Cumbrians' box. Headed out by Hayden, falls to Westbrook. Drifts wide to the left-hand channel, feeds into Ubazonu, heavy touch, takes the ball out of the penalty area, delays the pass, gives it to Denton. Denton, risky, finds Ewing. Horton, first time ball to Evans, back to Horton. Carlisle standing off, and then they go and press through Wern. Westbrook, Denton, first time, flicks it down the left wing to Smith. Pinned to the corner flag, but crosses into the box. Ubazonu holds it up away from Hayden. His cross almost falls kindly for Smith. It's back to Ubazonu. Rides a challenge, powered into the 6-yard box, but straight into the gloves of Gabe Breeze.
Yeah, they're trying Scunthorpe there to step up the tempo, a bit more intensity, a bit more forward thinking. Just had a little bit of quality. Done really well down left hand side, but just couldn't dig his cross out, couldn't get any height to put it onto the far post and went into the goalkeeper's hands. But they're the kind of little moments that can define the game or change the game in this instance.
Mahadi. Long from him. That's food and drink for Hayden to nod away. Back with Will Evans. For Scunthorpe United, Starbuck powers that forward to Beeston, lays it off to Callum Roberts, driving at the Carlisle back line, still going Roberts, shot ricochets through to the penalty area, Smith denied. Brilliant sliding challenge there from Williams, the Carlisle right back, to put that behind for a corner.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, it looked like it probably a more difficult chance. It kind of bobbled up, thought he was going to hit it first time, took his touch onto his left foot, as he pulled back the trigger, just managed to get a block in, but another chance and real good half opportunities coming Scunthorpe's way at the moment.
Got to make the most of set pieces as well. They have another corner. Ewing from the left floats it towards a back post, free header out from Gilead. It will drop to Westbrook, could have pulled the trigger there, feeds it into Starbuck. Now it's Roberts, right hand side of the penalty area, running at Gilead, tries to cut inside, his touch lets him down. Carlisle clear, out for a throw.
Yeah, they're holding on a little bit. Yeah, most of the play is in the attacking Scunthorpe half, if not the attacking third of the pitch. Certainly Scunthorpe got momentum here, but they need to make it count, need to get this equalising goal. About 7 minutes of, or just under 7 minutes of normal time.
Carlisle set to bring on another defender in the form of Terrell Thomas. We've got possession back. Wern forward to Parker on halfway, and he has sailed the ball out wide to Ajiboye. One-on-one with Horton, cuts inside onto his left foot, and he sealed the deal for Carlisle United. Ajiboye with his second and Carlisle's third, curling the ball into the bottom right-hand corner from 20 yards, and that should wrap up the 3 points for the Cumbrians late in this game. In the 84th minute, it's Carlisle United 3, Scunthorpe United 1.
Yeah, it's a really well worked finish. Ball's travelled from left to right. It's just Brendan Horton needs to get a little bit tighter. He's given too much space. He's just cutting on his left foot. It's a great finish, lovely curling effort away from Mahadi into the bottom corner. But for me, Horton needs to get out, put a little bit more pressure on him. He had balance and cover behind him. It was like a 2v1, 3v1 situation. And just a little bit slow getting out there. Probably didn't expect him to have that quality to curl the ball in the bottom corner, and that looks like it could be game over.
Big win for Carlisle United this, unless Scunthorpe can find a couple of late goals. They've struggled against sides in and around them in the top 7. Losing at Rochdale, of course, on Saturday. York City doing the double over the Cumbrians this season as well. But Carlisle themselves set to do the double over Scunthorpe, having won 1-0 at Glanford Park back in October. They lead 3-1 here at Brunton Park. 5 minutes of normal time to go. Live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. You can have your say on this defeat. Iron fans up until 10 o'clock tonight. 08000 66 59. Jack Ellis is going to be coming on as well with Terrell Thomas. Scunthorpe try and pull one back here as Starbuck slips in Roberts down the right hand side. He was clipped in the box, but the offside flag was already up. Carlisle have a free kick. Mark Hughes is trying to attract the attention of referee Thomas Parsons to make this double change. He's seen the waving arms of the former Manchester United man, former Blackburn and Stoke Fulham manager as well, and here comes that double change. Thomas and Ellis on. Wern is one of the two players to come off. In the 86th minute, and Jack Ellis played in holding midfield last Saturday at Rochdale. He will come on once Alexander Beckett has put the numbers into his LED board again. We wait. And we wait. And there we go. It's going to be Luke Armstrong coming off.
There's still a little bit of hope. We've still got, I would imagine, quite a bit of added time. I'd imagine at least 7 or 8 minutes added time. There's been quite a few stoppages, quite a few substitutions. Something would often puffed without really looking like scoring. Had a great chance with Smith about 10-12 minutes ago, and that kind of can change the game and completely turn it around. You fail to score and capitalise on that effort, and then you concede the third goal, and it's hard to find a way for Scunthorpe to get back into this game now.
Carlisle's throw. Thomas's first action since coming on is to take it. Will Evans juggling the ball, delaying his clearance, almost losing possession, and Carlisle retrieve it midway inside the Scunthorpe half. Parker has played in down the left, looking for Ajiboye for his hat-trick. Cross, the angle of it not quite right for the number 7 to tap home, and it's claimed by Rory Mahadi. Wanted to roll that out quickly. Does give it to Will Evans. 1-2 between him and Joe Starbuck at right back, who will continue his run forward. Mahadi on the ball. Evans again with possession midway inside his own half. Looks up, goes from right to left on the diagonal. Denton flick down the side looking for Connor Smith. Feeney gets in the way, ushers it back to his goalkeeper Breeze to clear. Scunthorpe get possession back, but they're running out of time. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Here comes Callum Roberts, angle of the penalty area, cuts inside on his left foot, finds Denton in space, the ball bobbles up off the instep of his left foot, back to Roberts, chops onto his right, goes down inside the D, couldn't pull the ball back to Westbrook, and Carlisle able to clear as Williams rides the challenge of Alfie Beeston, keeps going down the right hand side, but then gives the ball straight to Tyler Denton. Denton flicks infield to Ewing, challenge is going in there from Ellis and then Gilead. Scunthorpe still in possession though. Less than 90 seconds of normal time to go. Denton, Beeston, pirouetting away from Feeney, was waiting for the run of Brandon Horton, loses the ball, Carlisle throw. Steve Torpey.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that they're trying, and they've done most of the half. It's been in Carlisle's defensive half and Scunthorpe's attacking half. Most of the play, I just visualise the angle of watching the game has been in the attacking half for Scunthorpe. But it's those chances, isn't it? If Smith capitalising that opportunity and he scores, it's a total. I know goals change games and a different outlook, but that is the difference. I think you look back and say if that had gone in, Scunthorpe could have maybe gone on to actually win this game. You don't take your chance, and then you can see the third one, and it becomes a mountain to climb. And they're the kind of fine margins and moments that defines over the 90 minutes.
Yeah, Connor Smith had that big chance. Steve Torpey, the penalty shout. I'll play it to you now. Here's the video. What do you reckon, having seen a replay?
I think it was what I thought it was, really. I think it's a clash of legs. I don't think there's no outward legs or no one trying to tackle. I think it's two kind of bottom half of the bodies colliding.
And that penalty shout between Connor Smith and Aaron Hayden. 7 minutes of additional time, a minimum of 7 minutes at the end of this second half. As McAdam plays the ball over the top of the Scunthorpe defence. Too long for Parker to keep in. Charlie Wyke will be coming on. Made his return after a lengthy layoff recently. Was out for over a year with an ankle injury. Heard that I think he plans to retire at the end of this season. Played at Sunderland among many other clubs. Westbrook, just enough on that pass, just enough weight on it to find Callum Roberts wide on the right, drifts inside, 35 yards from goal, tried to feed it into Ollie Ewing, but Carlisle cut that out, and now they're countering forward with Gilead heading for the left-hand corner flag. Westbrook tracks him all the way. Gilead goes back here to McAdam, and now Carlisle have it all the way back in their own penalty area with Gabe Breeze. Pumps it forward. Parker was in an offside position, so doesn't go for the header. And that long ball goes from Breeze to his opposite counterpart, Rory Mahadi. Westbrook now. Arrowed over the top. Feeney's got it covered. Slams a header away. Ewing will trap it. Gives it to Starbuck. Now Westbrook. Westbrook into Roberts down the right again on that touchline. Pulled back to Westbrook. Here's Starbuck, 30 yards from goal, right of centre. Loops in a cross. Hayden equal to it. Carlisle dealing with everything that's thrown at them as Scunthorpe go in search of late goals. Mark Hughes aghast again that this latest substitution can't be made at the earliest possible opportunity. Fourth official is getting an earful at the moment. Play continues. Starbuck back to Westbrook. Carlisle standing off. All 10 outfield players pretty much behind the ball at the moment. As in comes that cross from the right. Oh, it's fumbled by Breeze. Drops to Smith. He's denied. Loose ball to Denton. And that's blocked out for a corner by Williams.
Yeah, really lucky Breeze there. He's come in full stretch. Just fumbled through his fingers. No one was in and around the kind of area for a simple tap-in. It was goalkeeper got away with one there.
Well, it's a Scunthorpe corner. I think the change will be made, or is it going to be a yellow card? I think the Carlisle United backroom staff have been saying too much to the fourth official. I thought maybe the yellow card would end up leading to the substitution. I think it will now. So Carlisle have got their wish, despite one of the members of the backroom staff getting booked, and David Ajiboye will not be able to complete his hat-trick. Just a brace for the wide man tonight. He's given his side a 3-1 lead at home to Scunthorpe United, and he gets a standing ovation from the home supporters as he's replaced by Charlie White.
Yeah, he's shown two bits of brilliance really, especially his second one where he's cut inside and curled one in the bottom corner. So he's kind of willing, quite direct approach, good skill and ability, and obviously can finish as well. So yeah, he'll probably get man of the match as well from the Carlisle supporters, I would say.
Corner for Scunthorpe. More opportunities going awry, but here's the latest set piece towards the back post, headed across the penalty area. Gilead nods it out, forced to Beeston, and Scunthorpe United do pull one back, and they've got 3.5 minutes maybe to find an equaliser here at Brunton Park. Alfie Beeston hits it home on the half volley, and Scunthorpe have hope. They trail Carlisle United by 3-2.
Yeah, just come from nowhere. Direct ball in the box, just fell. Loads of bodies in around. I think the goalkeeper was unsighted. Beeson just drilled the ball into the ground, come off the ground, and kind of not with great pace, but ended up in the back of the net from about 12 yards, 13 yards out. So, game on, last 3 or 4 minutes.
Indeed. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes left of additional time. Will there be late drama here at Brunton Park? Scunthorpe have made a habit of coming from losing positions this season. This would be some effort if they could do so again. 3-2 the scoreline, in the host's favour, as the Cumbrians get behind their side, hoping they can see this game out. As Steve Torpey predicted, David Ajiboye is named the host's man of the match tonight. Carlisle throw, Thomas goes down the line, Evans heads it backwards, Horton should deal with this, hooks up into the air on the half volley, but there was a foul earlier in the piece. Carlisle free kick.
Cool, it just relieves that little bit of pressure, doesn't it? Carlisle have not had many opportunities this second half, especially last 10 or 15 minutes. All the players been in the attacking half for Scunthorpe. Just relieves that little bit of pressure and just ticks the clock down a little bit more.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes of additional time now. Carlisle not sending anyone forward really for this free kick. Hugh Parker is there. I think McAdam is over on that left-hand side. You can see what the idea is going to be. Cameron Harper over the set piece. It's about 25 yards from goal, right in front of the left corner of the penalty area. Harper into Parker, who holds it up down the left-hand touchline. Ewing can't wrestle the ball free. Still over on that far side. Starbuck will get the clearance away, but it comes straight back to the Cumbrians. McAdam tries to drive that in behind. Williams chases it down. Denton goes down, but Williams is onto the loose ball. Right-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back, and the shot comes in from Parker, but the deflection takes the sting out of the effort, claimed by Mahadi. Wanted to volley that out quickly, but it was prevented from doing so by Charlie White. It's actually a free kick in the end that's been given due to that overzealousness from Charlie White, but that has eaten away further at Scunthorpe United's time to find an equalising goal. Just over 30 seconds left of additional time. From the long ball forward, Thomas wins the header, falls to White. Thomas will volley it straight back to Mahadi. Andy Butler waving everyone forward. Mahadi will boot it upfield again. That's a poor ball, no one able to challenge for it. Easy clearance away by Carlisle. Denton looped towards the Cumbrians' back line. Hayden with a diving header clear. It's bouncing around 20 yards from goal. Hooked skywards by McAdam. Can't bring it down, can the Cumbrians. Ewing traps it. Forced wide. Lays it off to Horton. Running down the channel. Sliding in there is Ellis. He goes down and the referee will stop play to check that Ellis is okay.
Yeah, I think a bit of game management going on here. He's trying to just kill it any amount of time they can. I don't think there's too much wrong with him. He's back on his feet. They need to get that ball in the box.
Has to go straight in from the throw. Horton is shaping to cross. Takes one touch, shapes himself, drives it into the penalty area, headed across by Ubazonu, almost falls to Alfie Beeston. Players falling all over the place, and Alfie Beeston gives away the free kick, and that may well be that. And there's a booking as well for Alfie Beeston.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there. I think the Carlisle defender just got his body in. He was lining one up and done well, the Carlisle defender, just to get his body in line with the ball just in front of him. Alfie Beeston just the slightest of nudges, they go down, and the foul was committed. And like I said, I think that could be it. Just talking about seconds now before the referee blows his whistle.
8 minutes of additional time have now been played. Referee blows his whistle for the free kick to be taken by the Carlisle goalkeeper Gabe Breeze inside his own penalty area. Smashed forward. Parker keeps it in play, heads it on. Bit of head tennis taking place at the moment. Scunthorpe can't wrestle the ball back as it's flicked over the top. Flag eventually goes up against Charlie Wyke. So Scunthorpe still have an opportunity here. Got to push everyone forward. Mahadi not taking the free kick though from the correct position. That will waste away more unnecessary time from an iron perspective. Last chance saloon for the visitors. Mahadi over the free kick. Right-footed, clatters it forward. Referee allows play to continue. Ball drops to Ellis to clear, and there goes the full-time whistle. And Carlisle United have held on to seal a crucial 3 points in the National League promotion picture. Scunthorpe United suffered defeat for the first time in 9 National League games, losing by 3-2 here at Brunton Park. It was 1-1 at the break after Callum Roberts had cancelled out Elliot Embleton's opener, but a brace from David Ajiboye gave the Cumbrians a 3-1 lead. They had to see it out in stoppage time after Alfie Beeston clattered home a half volley late on, but Scunthorpe United not able to produce any more heroics to salvage a point here, and they suffer defeat. Carlisle climbing back up to third, Scunthorpe dropped to fourth, missing an opportunity to close the gap to the top 2. Finishes here at Brunton Park. Carlisle United 3, Scunthorpe United 2. Steve Torpey.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a feel to the first game at Glanford Park, where Scunthorpe kind of dominated and they went down to 10 men but still dominated the game in large parts. They got their game plan, Carlisle. They like to get aggressive and in people's faces. There's always a challenge somewhere around, especially when they get into the defensive half of the pitch, Carlisle's defensive half of the pitch, and they've done that really well. Andy Butler would be really disappointed with the first two goals, especially. Mahadi, uncharacteristic-like mistake, just bounced over him, and the second one a direct free kick that's headed into around the 6-yard box, and they've gone on the second ball. So disappointing 2 goals, and the third. Every goal you can kind of stop it at certain stages, but first 2 in particular was really frustrating, and I think you look back at those. But again, a decent performance.